To find the equation of the line which is perpendicular to y is equal to negative 1/3 of x plus 2 and passes through the point with coordinates 6, 2, we're going to follow two steps. The first step, which I'll just call step 1, is going to be to find the line's slope, which is also known as the gradient. The second step, step 2, will be to find the line's y-intercept. That's the value of y at which the line cuts the y-axis. These two steps are the same steps that we would follow for any straight line. As soon as you're looking for a line equation, your first step is always find the slope, and your second step is always going to be find the y-intercept, whether we're looking for perpendicular lines or not. So keep that in mind. Now, we're looking for a line which is perpendicular to this one. So, for us to do our first step, we're going to follow the perpendicular line rule, which tells us that any two perpendicular lines have slopes which are negative reciprocals of each other. So, since the slope of this line is negative 1/3, its negative reciprocal is going to be equal to 3. So, we know that the slope of the line that we're looking for has a slope equal to 3. In other words, by the end of this first step, we can already say that the line that we're looking for has to look something like this. Y is equal to 3x plus p. And that 3 there is what I found by taking the negative reciprocal of negative 1/3. Now, our second step is going to be to find the y-intercept. And I'll just write that here, step 2. To find the y-intercept, we're going to use the point that was given to us in the question. If I just scroll back up for a second, we were looking for the line which passed through the point with coordinates 6, 2. That means that this line, y is equal to 3x plus p, has to pass through the point 6, 2. For us to make sure of that, we need to find the y-intercept. And we're going to use this point. That point tells us that when x equals to 6, y must be equal to 2. And by plugging those two coordinates inside this line equation, we're going to find p. So let's see, instead of y I'm going to write 2, so that's 2 is equal to 3 times, instead of x I'll write 6, so 3 times 6 plus p. That leads us to 2 is equal to 18 plus p, and subtracting 18 from each side leads us to 2 minus 18 equals to p, which leads us to negative 16 is equal to p. In other words, p is equal to negative 16. So combining that result with this result, we now have our full line equation. We know that p is equal to negative 16. So we can actually go ahead and write the line equation and say that y is equal to 3x plus negative 16. We never leave it like this. We have plus negative 16, which doesn't look good. So we're going to write y is equal to 3x minus 16. And that's the equation of the line we're looking for. And that's the answer to this question. Y is equal to 3x minus 16.